Good evening, folks, and welcome to another Monday night live stream. So yes, obviously in the panic to get things sorted, I didn't get my screen ready, and you also a bit of a double reason for it. One is, of course, we're here to play. Here's Negan. There he is on the shelf. Second of all, I'm in the garage and it's bloody freezing. So I thought, why not? I didn't dress up for Halloween. Let's make an effort for Negan, eh? So we've got a few people in the chat already tonight. I was watching the numbers of people waiting, going up and up and up, and I was thinking, oh, it's getting a bit nervous now. But it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine, I promise. So let's start the chat. We'll go and say hello to a few people in the chat because we've got plenty of people in tonight. As you know, we're here to do a live playthrough of Here's Negan. If you want to take and play the part of one of the 4 characters that we're going to play tonight, let me know in the comments. Put in @BlackJack Legacy so it highlights it to me, and then tell me that you want to be one, so we'll see who wants to play, because I'm not entirely sure exactly who we've got in, and I don't know who's planning on staying for the full evening. So let me know in the comments if you want to be one of the characters tonight, and let's go and say hello to a few people in the chat. So we've got, I think it was Mark. Who was it? No, it was Kieran, I think. Had come and said hello in the chat about 1 o'clock today or something like that. But it wipes the older ones off, so I'm sure Kieran might be back at some point, but thanks, Kieran, for coming in early. We've got Mark in as well. Hiya, Mark. I hope you're well, mate. I hope your drive home on Saturday was okay. Nice to catch up with you again at the Mantic Open Day. We've got Stuart Noble was in as well, saying Roger there, doing the tests. Hiya, Stuart. We've got Bloggy in as well, says, hey, guys and girls, how's everyone's week? R.I.P. Stan Lee. Yeah, it wouldn't be right if we didn't. Just to mention that as well, anybody that hasn't seen the news, it's just recently been announced that Stan Lee at age 95 has passed away. Very sad news for anybody that's kind of into their comic books, their Marvel, their geek culture. So yeah, condolences to Stan Lee's family. I'm sure they're not watching this, but I think it's only appropriate that we kind of we mention it. And nice to see you in, Nick, as well. We've got Carson's Bazaar in saying, how do all? How do, matey? How are you? Then that was just a bit of chat with me panicking about how this is going to go. We've got Robert in as well, all the way from the US. Good evening, Robert. I hope you're well, buddy. He's saying he would love to join in, but he might have to leave. So thanks for that, mate. We've got Tony in as well. Good evening, Mr. Spooky Thing. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. We've also got Jack in from Shaggy Wargaming. Hey, Jack. How are you doing? We've got Dan Bates in, says good afternoon from the US. Good afternoon, Dan. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm not sure if you've been at the chat before, but so thanks for coming in this evening. We've also got Robbie G. Evening all. Evening, Robbie. We have, let's have a look. We've got Steve from Steve Small World. Hey, Steve. How are you doing? We've got John Whitesnake in, who's just made it. He said, OMG, I made it. What's it like, 7 p.m. in England? I think you got the answer, mate. Yeah, it's just after 9 now. We have also got Glenn Griffin in, or he popped in anyway to say hello. Thanks for coming in, Glenn. We've got Skull Munchin says, nice Negan outfit. What can I say? It was meant to be a surprise and I screwed it up. But there we go. We've got Kieran as well saying he's got the jacket on. And we've got Stuart saying, hi there, Han Solo. Yeah, never tell me the odds of how this is going to go. Maybe that's what I should have said. We've got Rain in as well. Says, hello, Sir Andy and the rest of the disciples. I think it's the survivors tonight, isn't it? That's who's in tonight. We've got Phil Wilkinson in. Says, drunk and ready. This could be interesting. Maybe I should have had a few beers as well, I think. Rain is saying he's been absorbed in the world of Red Dead Redemption 2 for a couple of weeks and he's missed a bit of chatter. Well, you're back with a vengeance tonight, mate. We've got Top Table Gaming in, says, hey, folks, looking forward to this one, hanging out with you all. And that's Jay. Nice to see you, Jay. We'll catch up on Thursday, buddy. We've got Carson saying he's up for playing. Right, we've got one then. That's a good start. We've got Matt Mountain in as well. Good. Hello, Matt. It was really good to actually meet you face to face at the weekend. Really good to meet you. And again, congratulations to you and your wife for the forthcoming twins. And he says, hiya guys, hashtag Mantic Monday. I'm here all night but too busy to play, so we'll listen. We've got Michael in. Michael's in as well. I can't say it, mate. Is it Yoth? Was it Yoth Sogoth? Or Sod? Told you I couldn't say it. There we go, mate. Where are we now? Let's have a look. We've got Jason. Jason again. Evening, Jace, mate. Yeah, I'm really good, mate. Feel free to pop round and help out, mate, if you want. We've got Thomas Ian says, good evening all. Excited for hashtag Mantic Monday. Good evening to you, Thomas. We've got Mark Tukey in that says, good evening all. Hey, Mark. We've got Flying Mammal in says, who's being Lucille? Morning, evening and afternoon. Yeah, the less said about that, the better, I think. We've got Paul Robertson says, been looking forward to this, Andy. Nice to see you, Paul. Thanks for dropping in. We've got Peter Nicholas. Said he's got his cold python ready. We might need it, mate. We've got Jack is saying he'll join in as well. So we've got two in now. We've got Phil saying the painting competition's done. And he said he likes the jacket as well. So I think we've certainly got two there. I think, haven't we? We've got Jack and we've got Carson's as well there as well. So we've got a couple of people in. If needs be, I'll play a couple of players as well. And people can kind of drop in or whatever as we go. But I've got a couple of things to do, a couple of announcements to make first of all. So let's go across. So the first one I want to talk about is the Mantic Fronticon. It's an event in 2019, which is the weekend of, if I can remember now, it's the 23rd and 24th of March. It's a full weekend event. There are Kings of War events on. I think there's a doubles event on the Saturday. There is, let me get it right so I don't butcher it. Let's make sure I get it right. I've just been reading it now, I've all forgotten. We've got Kings of War, we've got Dead Zone Warpath Firefight, there's Dread Ball, there's Kings of War doubles on the Saturday and a Dead Zone tournament singles. On the Sunday, there's a Kings of War singles ranked event, and there's a Dead Zone or Warpath narrative gaming as well. And there's also Dread Ball on the evening. And this is being run by the guys at Mantic Games podcast in conjunction with Mantic. And this is happening down at Darksphere in London. If you head across to the Mantic blog and just search for Mantic Fronticon, it gives you a bit of information here. So the reason I'm telling you now is I had a chat with Ben at the weekend, and I said I would plug it today because I think it's really important. They've got an early bird discount on, so you've got until the 30th of November to get your ticket, and then they go up. Actually, they don't go up in price. The early bird ticket includes a choice of any new Dreadball team, any Warpath vehicle, or any Dead Zone starter set. So they're worth $24.99 on their own. So for £35, if you book your ticket before the 30th of November, you're in for £25 worth of Mantic stuff anyway. And then it also includes your tournament entry, and it also includes lunch on both days as well. So head across and check that one out. Next up, we've got the Winter's End tournament. I've mentioned this a couple of times, but time's getting close now. I just want to make sure everybody knows about it because we've got quite a few Walking Dead fans in tonight. Winter's End is at Element Games on the 2nd of December. And if I remember right, it's either 4 or 5 games. I can't remember. 4 games of The Walking Dead. 250 points and 90-minute round times. And that is £15 per ticket. Paul has been doing some really nice stuff for goodie bags as well. I had a look at some of the tokens and dice and stuff at the weekend. And he also got some boosters as well, Walking Dead boosters, signed by Mark Lathan, who wrote the game as well. So a nice little kind of memorabilia too. So check out that one. The last one I want to talk about as well is Cry Havoc, which is the first ever Vanguard event. And that's being held on January the 12th. And that is at the Forge in Manchester and being run by Andrew Sharp from the Weight of Fire podcast and YouTube channel. Let me just get the details there because I seem to have... oh no, it's down here. So that's going to be 3 games of Kings of War Vanguard, 200-point Warband, and lunches included. And again, that is £15 per ticket. So that's all that stuff out of the way. I'm already got my ticket for the Walking Dead tournament. I've already bought my ticket now for the Vanguard event. And the one in March, the Fronticon one, depends upon how some other stuff works out. But yeah, I'll be attending at least 2 out of those 3. So let's just double check then. So we've got a bit more chat going on as well. Mark's saying he'll take one as well. Thank you very much, buddy. We've got Tim's coming as well, says batter up. And we've got Adam in, says morning everyone as well. Carson says, Winter's End sounds such a good event. Wish I could get there. On those custom bits have been made to look so good. Right. Now what I need to do is I need to work out who's doing what. So, the first person to shout up, I think, was Carson's. So, Carson's, you get the choice, buddy. You can have, let's have a look. We'll go, you get the choice. You can either be Dwight, you can be Laura, you can be John, or you can be Sherry. So, you get the first choice. Next up, we've got Jack. Jack, you tell me who you want to be. Mark, you tell me who you want to be. And we might as well get this game into full swing. Because I might have to reference a couple of rules as we go. I've had a few games of it, but it depends on what comes out and how the game progresses. We'll see how it goes. But we'll see who people want to be. If it's starting to slow down a little bit, I'll push the game on as well, because I know it's going to be a little bit... I know it might be difficult with the time delay and stuff, so I'll try and keep the chat going. I'll try and keep it interesting. Anybody that's playing the game, if you can do that at BlackJack Legacy first, that way it stands out on my screen and I can see your comments. Everybody else, feel free to chat amongst yourselves, ask questions as the guys are taking their time to make decisions. I'll pick up on some of the chat as well. So, Paul's just saying he's one of the hosts of the Kings of War doubles. There you go, Paul. Nice. At least you saw that I gave it a bit of a push there as well. You'll know that it's been on the stream tonight. So Carson's is going Dwight. Shaggy is going John. I'll tell you what. Let me put them in the order that you tell me. And Jack, who do you want to go? Sorry, that is Jack. Jack's going to go to John, and Mark will give you. Do you want to be Laura or Sherry, Mark? And I'll take the third. I'll take the fourth one as well. So what we'll do is I'll just come down onto the. I'll explain some of the game, how it works. So we've got 4 survivors here, and these are all part of Negan's crew. And what we're going to do is we're going to play the first scenario here. This is kind of like almost like a demo scenario. It's one to kind of learn the game. And what we're going to do here is we have to try and clear through this building to let Negan follow us through, because we're trying to clear this out, and this will be our sanctuary. Now what we've got in, I've just saw there, Mark, you're going to take Laura. That makes me Sherry. So what we've got is we've got some rooms here that are locked. We need to secure those rooms, and these are entry points where walkers will come on as we go. Now what you'll notice here is you have these little tokens here, these yellow. Let me go a little bit closer. Actually, let me go to this one, and you'll see we've got these tokens here with walkers on. Now these are walker tokens. Imagine them a little bit like the blips in Space Hulk, so they move around. Essentially, you can hear the groaning, you can hear the clawing at the walls, but you don't know how many walkers are going to be around there. And then what we do at some point when they come into line of sight, we flip them over. There's a coloured dice on the back, and we roll that dice, and then we decide how many walkers come in. So that's how those work. What we'll do, so basically all of us, let's go back to, all of us take our turn. You get 2 actions each. You can walk, you can run, you can fight, you can shoot, you can do a number of other things as well, like search for loot. You can secure rooms, but we'll talk about that as you come through. I'll tell you the different options that you can do, and we'll get into it. What we do is once we've all taken our turn, the walkers then take their turn. What you'll see, actually you might not be able to see there, but there's a reference card here that you get inside the game, and it tells you the steps to go through, and you have some event cards. Once the walkers have done their stuff, then Negan goes through his phase, and again there's a really handy reference card here that tells you what to do at that stage. At the end of that, we then have the end phase where we kind of tidy a few things up, and then we start all over again. And the idea is we need to get Negan from where he starts here, all the way down here to the exit of this first part of the sanctuary. So, let's get straight into it. I'm not going to ask you where you want to set up. I'm just going to pop you all. I'm going to pop you all on the board here. So you might need to keep me right with who is playing which part, but we'll see what we can do. So, Dwight, Carson's, what do you want to do, buddy? You can walk. You have a special ability that means instead of walking 3 spaces, which everybody walks, you can move 4. And also, when you you can run and you get a chance to re-roll, because normally running makes noise. Noise is not good. Normally running will make noise. You get a chance to re-roll it if it does make noise. So, what would you want to do? Do you want to come into this room and see what's in here? When you go into a room, you flip a room card. That way you have a look and see what's inside. There might be loot, there might be walkers, there might be both. You can come this way through into the corridor and start pushing forward. What would you like to do, buddy? So let's have a look, see what he wants. The guys are saying here, let's have a look. We've got Rob Seymour in. Hey Rob, how you doing, man? Rob says, just got to see how good this new filming setup works well on the live stream. Looking forward to the game. Fingers crossed it works well, buddy. Thank you very much. And Peter says, I hope there's no spoilers. I've only got to where Carl gets his eye shot out in the TV series. This is actually, this game is set between two comics. So there's a part where Negan and his survivor group get to what will be the Sanctuary. And then in the next the next comics, they've already kind of cleared it out. This game takes place in the gap between them. So there's no spoilers for the TV series or for the comic books if you're reading them. Right, Carson's saying he's going to move to the left door and open it. So let's. I'm assuming you mean this one here, mate. Yeah. So what you're going to do is you can move up to 4. So you say 1, 2. You open the door for free, and when you open the door, that's when we flip a card. So what we do is we flip a room card. So these are the room cards. We flip them over, and that tells us what we do. So the title of the card is it says 2 supply tokens and a red and a blue dice number of walkers. So what that means is we get 2 supply tokens in the top there, and then we do a red and a blue dice. We'll roll them, and you've brought in 3 walkers, mate, or I've brought in 3 walkers. So what we do is we put the walkers, we start 1 on the secure token, and then we fill them where we can. So that's your let's get back to that's your first action. For your second action, you can attack this one here because you have line of sight, because you can see diagonally through the door. You're equipped with a knife and you're equipped with a crossbow. So would you like to fight, or would you like to shoot your crossbow into the one at the back? You let me know what you want to do, and I'll have a quick look on the chat there. We've got Andrew Pierce saying, "Hey there, boss man." Hey, my buddy, how you doing? Peter says, "Thanks for the reassurance." Adam is saying, "Doesn't follow the comics too closely." No, it doesn't. Flying Mammal says, "Nice sound effects." What can I say? I try my best. Tony is saying, "That's an understatement." And Robert says, "He's going to make shooting noises." Would you like me to make shooting noises? Right, crossbow, the one at the back, he says. So what we do is crossbow. If I'm not sure if you can see them too much. Let me just we'll go to this one. So what we've got is the crossbow gives us a red dice, and Dwight shoots with a white dice. So we roll the red and the white, and you've got 1 hit. The walker defends with 1 red dice. They got 1 as well, which means they cancel each other out. Nothing happens. So Dwight, your turn is over. So we move on to John, who I think was Jack, I believe, wasn't it? So then, Jack, what would you like to do next, buddy? This is your character here. So let's... I will get used to where these different buttons are. What would you like to do, buddy? You can either come round here, you can try and kill some of these walkers. You can completely leave them if you want, and you can start to move forward. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. So what you'll see here as well, I'll explain some more of the game while we're waiting for Jack to make his decision. Doors, you can open doors. You can open doors as a free action. Anytime one of these walker tokens comes into line of sight, we flip them. You can vault over the top of any barricades here as well. We roll a black dice, and if you're successful, you can vault over the top, so you actually save a point of movement. I also have to mention as well, we've got a threat tracker, which I forgot to mention. You'll see this comes up, and as that goes around, it affects how easy or how hard it is to unlock to secure rooms. It also decides on where the walkers enter from as well. Just so Jack says there, he wants to start to move forward. So we'll go 1, 2. We'll open that 1, 3. Okay, so you've got your second action now, Jack. You can open this door and see what's inside this room, or you can, to be honest, there's not much else you can do at this point because you can't take the same action twice. One of the characters, Laura, can, but everybody else has to do 2 different actions. So we'll see what he wants to do there. Adam is saying, I hear you, mate. It's like Lord of the Rings or Marvel movies. You've got to appreciate them as separate from the books, comics. Yeah, what I would say is that these games stay really, really close to the comic books, but Walking Dead TV series and Walking Dead comics, graphic novels are very, very different. So, let's get rid of that card there. We'll move that one out of the way. You can also, when you're searching for things as well there at the back, we get some supply tokens here as well, and these will give you extra weapons or bandages or bits of upgrades and things as well. This might take longer than I thought it was. Even if we don't get to the end, at least we'll have had a bit of a playthrough and you'll see the mechanics and see how it works. We've got 50 people in watching at the minute. I think that potentially that might be the most we've ever had in it at any one time. So thank you to all 50 of you. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you've got any questions about the game as we go, feel free just to shout as we go, and I'll try and answer them while I'm giving the guys who are playing a little bit time. Mark, just before we get to you, mate, if you want to have a think about what you want to do with your character and start let me know. That'll speed that one up a little bit. Just stay there then. Can friendly models move through models? You can move through your own model, you just can't end your turn on top of them. You can also shoot through them as well, so you can potentially you can shoot your crossbow or shoot guns or whatever. It would just be a case of them getting down and diving out of the way. So John doesn't want to do anything with his second turn at the minute, so we're moving on to Laura now. So Mark, if you can tell me what you want to do, mate. You are equipped with a knife and a rifle. You're shooting with a blue dice and a white dice as well, so I would say that shooting is your kind of bread and butter, although it does cause noise. And also your special action is you can do the same action twice. Paul is saying, where's Negan? Isn't he meant to be in the first room? He does come into the room here at the start of Negan's first turn, so he doesn't start on the board. He starts his turn by entering into the first room. Otherwise, what happens is he kind of catches up with you very, very quickly, and that can cause problems. Negan's not very happy when he's got to push you out the way with Lucille. So, Mark is saying, so I can move behind Dwight and shoot in the room. You certainly can, mate. So, what we'll do is we'll move you 1, 2, 3. You can move diagonal as well, so don't forget that. And you're going to shoot through, so you're shooting with your blue dice and a white dice. So let's hope we can take one of these out. Remember, if you don't know about Walking Dead, you need a headshot to take out a zombie. If you beat them in combat, you just knock them down and there's a chance they get back up. Whoops. We'll roll that blue one again. So, Mark's done rather well there with a total of 4 and a headshot. The zombie can only roll a maximum of 2 on a red dice. So, he's been successful. So, he's taken out this walker. Let's go back to this one. He's taken out a walker. And what you also do is, because you successfully killed a walker, you also gain 1 point of reputation. Now, reputation is basically about how well Negan likes you. Are you one of his favourites? We're trying to work together to get Negan out, but at the end of the day, we all want to be his favourite. So reputation is what you need. So, you've done your 2 actions now. That's you done. For Sherry, I think what I'm going to do with Sherry... Oh, I forgot. It creates noise. The gun went off, it creates noise. So, the threat tracker goes up by 1. We're still in the all quiet phase. Ordinarily what we'd do is a walker would enter from the exit. These are colour coded and they match the different colours on the threat tracker here, but we're not at that stage yet. And it creates any walker tokens on the board move 1 square towards the noise. So this walker moves up. Then player would move on to me, to Sherry there. So Sherry is going to... We need to try and... I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to push forward. I'm going to open this. I can't open... I can. So we go 1, 2. I'm going to open this door. So we're going to see what's in this room. So we flip a room card. And the room card says there are 3 supply tokens. So we'll put 1, 2, 3 supply tokens in there. Let me flip back. And it also says, all quiet, we roll 1 red die. So, go back to the dice cam. We put 1 walker in. Now, because the room's open, the walker just appears. You can see us straight away. So the walkers always start on where the lock or the secure symbol is. So, we've opened it. I've got 1 point of movement left because I moved 2, so 3 to there. And with my last action, Sherry is going to shoot this walker here. So, here we go. So Sherry shoots with a white and a red dice. And there is a range on this weapon is 1 to 4. So she is 2 squares away. So let's go to the dice cam. Sherry has got 2 successes. The walker has got 1 success. So the walker is knocked down, but not defeated. She may come back at some point. Now again, that creates noise. So threat goes up by 1 to 3. Walker tokens move 1. All other eligible walkers move 2 as well. I think I forgot to do this last time actually. So that would move to there. And this walker doesn't move because she's still knocked down. So that is the end of my turn. Now we've done, all the characters have gone. We now move on to the walker phase. So the walker phase starts by flipping an event card. So the event card says, let's get it in cam. In the top corner there, we increase the threat by 1. So that goes up to 4 now. So we're now in low threat rather than all quiet. It says place 1 walker token on each entry point up to and including the current threat level. So what that means is we're now in low threat, which is this one here. So we put a walker token here. Right, now this is what I was going to do with the chat. Where are we? Right, somebody in the chat, first person to give me a number between 1 and 6. Which pile do we take it from? First person in the chat to give me a number between 1 and 6, and I'll show you what happens here. We got Millennium Card Games is saying nice jacket, Andy, and hi all. Thank you very much, buddy. What can I say? You've got to get in the spirit. We got Negan as well. Hiya, buddy. He says the jacket would have been good for your dating video. Skullmunch has shouted 4. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4. We pull from here. What happens now is it enters that point. However, because it enters this point and we've got Sherry here in line of sight, it automatically flips over. And as you can see there, that is a red marker. So we roll 1 red dice and this tells us how many walkers come in. And there's none. So luckily, it was just a bit of background noise. It wasn't really a walker. So threat's gone up. The walkers come in. We've moved. Oh, sorry, we were on the card. Sorry, weren't we? So we've done the first part. The second bit is choose a survivor. Place 1 walker token on the nearest unsecured token to that room, even if it's an open room. So let's go back to the tiles. Now that would normally be what we'll do is we'll choose Dwight. This is the nearest unsecured token. We'll put a walker on there. So this room is starting to look a little bit tasty now. So after we've done the card, we move the walker tokens. So any walker tokens move 1 square. Any walkers then move 2 squares. This one's knocked down. These 2 can't really get any closer now. We'll move that one across to there, but just for the theme of it. Somebody's saying there, I think you moved John instead. Here, I did, didn't I? You're right, mate. I put him back there, and I put him here. Thank you very much. I knew I was shooting with something. That was what I wanted to do. So, yeah, all the walkers have gone. Now the walkers attack. So, we've got 2 walkers here. Let's get it on a little bit closer. We've got 2 walkers here that are attacking against Dwight. So, they get 1 red dice each. And that is 3 with a bite token. So Dwight only defends with 1 dice. Let's see what he gets. He gets 1. So that means he takes 2 points of damage and he's bitten. Now what that means is Dwight takes 2 points of damage and you flip this stamina counter over to the bite marker. Now the bite marker doesn't really change much at this stage. However, if Dwight was to die during the game, he would come back as a walker. If you just die without being bitten, you're dead and you're out of the game. However, if he dies, he comes back as a walker. So that is the. You would also actually normally roll a blue dice there as well and lose some reputation, but Dwight doesn't have any reputation at this stage. So we now move on to the Negan card. So Negan enters player onto the board here, and then that's him done for his first turn. So what happens next is Dwight had the bat. He will be the first player. The bat moves down to the next player, so John is now the first player. So Jack, what would you like to do with John? Now, just to let you know that if you move up beside here, you can attack this walker and take them out. You don't even have to roll dice. Oh, sorry. End of phase. Before you do that, end of phase. I'll move the tokens back to say that we haven't activated. We then roll a black dice to see if this walker gets up. Sorry, I almost forgot that. And we also increase the threat by 1. So, does the walker get up? It doesn't. He stays down. So, back to you, Jack. What would you like to do, buddy? So, let me know, Jack. Oh, I better put that on so you can actually get the buttons right so you can see what you want to do. Yeah, poor Dwight says Flying Mammal. Bitten in the first turn. Getting a bit crowded out in this room, really, aren't there? There's quite a bit going on there. I'm hoping that these 2 tokens here, these loot counters, I hope they've got something decent in them. Yeah, Jack, what would you like to do, buddy? Carson's is saying, here's Negan. Here he is. And Sorry Horrid Person says, there's Negan. Definitely, buddy. Right. Where are we going? Adam is saying the Flying Mammal painted minis hit harder and faster. They do. I was going to actually spray these up for this. This is how they come, by the way, folks. I'll just show them under the camera there while we're waiting for Jack to make his call. Actually, he just said move over to the walker and kill it. So let's go. So 1, 2, 3. I'll tell you why I've put you there. Actually, it makes no difference because your next action, you're going to kill the walker. You don't even have to roll for it. The walker is dead and John gets a point of reputation. Next up, Mark, let me know what you want to do, buddy. At the minute, you are, if I can find Laura, you're sitting here with the rifle. Remember, you can actually do the same action twice as well. So Mark's asking the chat, what should he do? Does he leave Dwight or does he help him in the fight? That's the question. What do you want to do, mate? What I'll do is I'll just show you one of these minis as well while we're waiting here. So I guess I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll flip the card over as well, just so it's got a bit of colour for the background. So you can see the Negan miniature here as well, if I can get him in shot. It's actually, it might not be focused. I've got the auto focus turned off just so it focuses on the card every time. So it might not focus on the miniature itself. But you can see Negan there with Lucille held above his head. Rifle on his shoulder there as well. Really nice little miniature that is. Very nice indeed. So, J-Sonic saying give him some help. Carson's is saying join the fight. Skullmunch says keep shooting, Laura, get your rep up. Yeah, remember with Laura you can do 2. You can shoot twice. However, you will create noise, and noise means walkers. But that's up to you. Right, Mark says he's going to shoot again. So let's go back to here. So Mark's here at the minute. He's going to shoot this first walker here. So again, Laura has a blue dice and a white dice. And he does 3 points. Of course, the walker can only get a maximum of 2. So he does a successful shot, but he only knocks him down. Of course, this does create noise now. So threat goes up by 1. And we also have a tile. Right, again in the chat, first one to give me a number between 1 and 6. It also makes the other walkers move. So that one moves. These one would move too, but they can't move because they're blocked in. First number between 1 and 6, and we'll pick one of those tokens to see which, to see which one of those we pick to go onto the tile there. Mark's saying he's going to double tap as well. He's going to shoot again. I'll get to that one in a second. Friendly Local Gaming Store says 3, so 1, 2, 3. This would go here. Now this time there's nobody in line of sight, so it's still just a token. So the token stays there. It's going to shoot again. This time it does 4 points of damage. Again, no headshot. The walker can only get 2. So he knocks down the second walker. Getting ready for Dwight to go in and mop up, I think. But again, it creates noise. So threat goes up by 1. All walker tokens move 1. This one can't move because there's a locked door there. This one moves 1 and is now in line of sight of Sherry. So we flip it over. And if you can see on camera there, that one is a blue one. So we roll a blue dice. See how many walkers come in. And that is 2 walkers. So what we do is we put 1 where it was when it came on, and 1 just behind it. So things are looking a little bit more grim now, aren't they? Right, who's next? It's now time for Sherry, so it's my turn to go. So get ready, Carsons. Tell me what you getting ready to do. Sherry is going to. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and secure the room. So what you can do is, Negan, if he walks into a room that isn't secured, he gets very, very angry. So we need to secure the rooms to get him in and walk through them. Now, actually, I can't secure the room. I've just realised because I'm actually engaged by a walker. You have to be in a room. You have to be in a room with no walkers, which I am. However, you're not allowed to be engaged. You haven't got time to secure the room when there's walkers coming. So the first thing I want to do is I think I'm going to fight this walker. So I'm going to use 2 red dice to fight the walker. Sherry's special ability is once around, she can give somebody else one of her actions. So what we're going to do is we'll fight this one, and it does 1 point of damage. Not very good, and the walker is none. So at least the walker is now knocked down. Now what that does mean is it now means I'm not engaged, so I can try and secure the room this time. So to secure the room, you roll 1 white dice, and you have to try and beat the number of the locks here. If I can just put them under the close count. That's on 7 at the moment in case it moves. You'll see here that there are these lock numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. At the minute we're on 7 threat level, which means I need to get 2 or more to secure the room. Now, what you also do is you add a white dice for every friendly survivor that's in that room as well. So I'm now rolling 2 white dice, and I need 2 or more. And disastrous 2 blanks. What can I say? So Sherry's now gone. She's done her 2 turns. Didn't manage to secure the room. Maybe it's something. Well, John can't do it, but we might be okay here. We might be okay. So, Mark, what's Mark going to do? Sorry, what's Dwight going to do? Sorry, Carson. Stab the walker on the floor. Shoot the one on the side, or do I have to stab that one too? No, entirely up to you, buddy. So, first action: stab. The walker's dead. You get a point of reputation. Second action: shoot with the crossbow to this one. So you're rolling a white and a red dice. Sorry, I missed that. So we've took. Let me get this. I will get used to this one day, get gents and ladies. So we've just stabbed that one. We took it off. Now we're going to shoot this one that's standing up. So a white and a red, and that is 1. Let's see what the water gets. The water gets 1, so it cancels each other out. Nothing happens. And now Dwight has taken his turn. So we're now back to the event phase now. So we flip over an event card. Get it on the close cam. And this one says, I assume that's meant to say shit. I'm not going to try and pronounce what it actually says. So we increase the threat by +1 red dice. And what you do is you read down the card and sort of do each thing in stages. So threat goes up by this amount, goes up by 1. So threat is now at 8. Let me get a quick drink because my voice is drying out. Skullmunch is saying, "What's that roll?" What can I say? I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. Yeah. So threat's just gone up by 1, and next thing it says is place a walker within 3 spaces of and with line of sight to Negan. So Negan is not going to be happy when this happens. So we place a walker within 3 spaces. So we put it there. 1, 2, 3. And he's got line of sight to Negan as well. So then we then go down the card. So we've now done the event card and we've done that. We're now going to move any walker tokens. Again, this one can't move because we've got a locked door. We then move any walkers. This one can't move because this one's blocking the way. This one can move to engage. And this one can move. I think that they'll just probably move this way. So now the walkers attack. This walker here isn't engaging. Let's get a little bit closer. Whoops, wrong one. This walker here isn't engaged because this one's knocked down. This one is now. Now what would normally happen is the person who's got the bat, John, would decide if both walkers are going to attack this one, or if they're going to split them out. I might have got that wrong actually. I think you always split attacks where you can. It's when they're outnumbered, sort of like 3-2. So we'll split the attacks. One's going to attack Dwight. One's going to attack Laura. So first one for Dwight. This is the walker against Dwight. 1, and Dwight defends on a red dice. 1, nothing happens. This is the one for Laura. The walker got nothing. Laura is absolutely fine. So we're all right with that one. Did we? No, we're okay. I thought I might have forgot one of the noise. Talk about loads going round in my head at the minute. So walkers are all done now. We then move to the Negan phase. So if Negan is adjacent to a walker or in an unsecured room, which he's not, he becomes enraged. So in that case, he hasn't become enraged. We draw a Negan action card. And the Negan action card says, "You scared?" So again, we do each thing in stages. So you move 2 spaces. Negan will always move the shortest route out of the room. Okay, so Negan will move 2 spaces. I'll do it this way so you can see. He's going to go 1, 2 out of the door there, or try to get out of the door. The next part of the card says remove 1 reputation from the nearest survivor. So the nearest survivor here is Sherry. She doesn't have any reputation, so it's fine. So that is Negan's turn done. We've resolved his card. End of the phase. We increase the threat by 1. So we're now up to 9. So we're at medium threat. Things are getting a bit hairy now. We then move the token on to Laura. So what's Laura going to do, Mark? What do you want to do? Let's have a quick look in the chat while we're waiting. We've got Art Wilson in, says, even all, the survivors need to take up archery pretty quick rather than those noisy guns. You're not wrong, buddy, you're not wrong. Carson's is saying he's going to bin that crossbow. It's absolutely cack. It's probably my dice roller, mate, to be fair. Peter says, are you sure you loaded it? Skullmunch says, defo not Daryl's crossbow. No, this one's definitely Dwight's, that's for sure. Now we know why he stole it. Daryl rules. Right, Mark said he's going to stab the walker in the head. So, Laura. Stab the walker in the head. So, I think we're talking about this one. Let's get here. Talking about this one here, aren't we, Mark? Laura with the gun. Yes. So, Laura's going to stab him with a knife. So that's 2 red dice. Let's see if we can get some headshots in here, Mark, eh? Oh, sorry, buddy. I'm letting you down here. The walker got 1 as well, so that cancels out. So that's your first action, but at least it was quiet. Now remember, you can take the same action twice if you want to. Adam says, you roll as bad as me, Andy. What can I say? When I'm on camera, the pressure's on. The dice gods desert me. The dice gods desert me. Carson's is saying auto crit. Yeah, I wish, mate. I wish it was an auto crit. So, what we're going to do, Mark, we're going to do it again. Right, let's do it again. Right, somebody, let's get somebody blow on the dice for me, please. There you go. These ones I tell you what, if these ones are broken, let's swap them for more. Let's see what happens now. Oh, 2. Sorry, Mark. And the walker gets 2 with a headshot as well. So the headshot doesn't count when defending, but it cancels out and nothing happens. Really sorry. So, Mark, you are done. So it now moves over to Sherry. And Sherry is going to... She's going to automatically kill this walker just with a stab action. You don't have to do anything because the walker's prone. Basically just curb stomps it. So Sherry gets a point of reputation. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and secure this room because Negan is on his way through. So again, it's 2 white dice. But this time the threat's gone up. I need to get 3. So, whoops, 4. We're good. So, we secure the room. That flips over. And it means now when Negan comes in, we should be okay. So, that's mine done. Carson's, what we're going to do, buddy? Your turn now, mate. Your turn to go. Dwight's getting stuck here, isn't he? He's getting in a little bit of trouble. How are you going to get out of that one, mate? Peter says, that was me blowing, not a comment. Says, you forgot the rule where survivors roll D20s. I think we might need D100s, mate, on this one. Carson said you're going to shoot 1, stab 1. Cool. Right, so, Right, you can't shoot 1 and stab 1. And the reason is that you're within range 1 of both of them. Your crossbow is range 2 to 6. So you have to be 2 spaces away for that to happen. So you can stab 1. Try and do that one. So we'll certainly start with that one. Let's just roll first and we'll see what the result is. So he's stabbing Dwight on 2 red dice. Sorry, mate. And the walker gets 2. So the walker wins that one. So he successfully defends. So that's his stab done. You can now... You can try and roll and bring the threat down. Try and reduce the threat a little bit. If you want to do that. You can also... Let me just... While we're just checking there, I'll just tell you all the different actions that you can do. You can move, you can fight, you can shoot, you can hold your nerve. Sorry, you can't reduce the threat because you're next to a walker. You can't search, you can't secure. You can call Negan to come and help you, but he won't be happy. Yeah. What would you like to do? You can either call Negan to come and help you, and he'll be a little bit annoyed about it, or you can... Oh, to be honest, that's pretty much it, really. Carson says, saying, want me to give you some of my dice. Yeah, I need to check to make sure there's the right number of pips on these. I haven't rubbed all the numbers off. And I haven't rubbed them away. So, call the big man. Right. We're going to call Negan over. I just need to double check how we do this because it's the first time I've done it now. So, Negan, you lose minus blue dice reputation. So, now he rolls it. Now he rolls the 3 with a headshot. So you lose 3 reputation. Okay. You've only got 1 to lose anyway, so we'll reduce that down. We can move him where we like, and when he stops, we remove blue walkers from within 3 spaces. So, what we'll do is we'll move him 3 spaces to here. Oh, sorry. Let me get him back on there. So I've moved him 3 spaces. He was here. I've moved him to here, and that means we've got 1, 2, 3 walkers within 3 spaces to him and within line of sight. So let's roll the blue dice and see how many he takes out. He takes out 2. So what we'll do is we will take out, this one, and we will take out, oh, this one isn't in line of sight, sorry, because there's a wall blocking it. We'll take out that one as well. So that's Negan, that's there. We've helped Negan there. So all we've got left to go now is John. So Jack, what would you like to do, buddy? Let's see where we are. Carson's is just saying there, yeah, definitely lost these points. Blue is a certain pip. Yeah, there's no blank sides on the blue dice. That's why, from a shooting point of view for Laura, that is pretty handy. Randomly, it makes noise though. Yeah, so Carson's there is saying top man. Yeah, he's come in and helped you out there, hasn't he? However, as Flying Mammal says, it is very thematic. Yeah, you're stuck in a corner. You try to stab one, it's not really worked, and then it's like, Negan, come and help us. Jack wants to search the room. Right, Jack. So what we need to do is then we can right, what we'll do is we'll search the first one here. So basically you just use an action to search. So we take away the token, we then flip a supply counter, and you've got a sledgehammer. That gives you a red and a white dice. It says it's bulky as well, so basically you need 2 hands to use it. So you can only use that one. You can only use that one particular thing at a time. There is rules in that where if you've got 2 like sort of melee weapons, you can use them both, but unless it has the keyword bulky, because it means it's a 2-handed weapon. It says all adjacent walkers are always knocked prone by this weapon, but the survivor uses it loses 1 stamina. So it's very heavy. You can swing it around. They'll definitely get knocked prone regardless of whether you beat them or not. However, you will lose stamina for it. So what we'll do is we will equip it onto your card. Now you've got 1 action left, Jack. You can try to reduce the threat if you'd like to do that, or you can move up and open this door and see what the walker is there. What would you like to do, buddy? Flying Mouse says that walker just moved, it's alive. Ooh, scary times. Scary. So, while Jack's deciding what he wants to do, looking at the time, how are we doing? It's like 5 to 10. I don't think we're going to get through this one game tonight. I think it's I was probably a bit ambitious. However, what are you thinking of the game so far? Is there anything that you've kind of got any questions about? Is there any bits that you'd kind of like me to explain in a bit more detail? Do you think it looked... I mean, Flying Mammal said it seems thematic. It's definitely very thematic. This feeling of Negan coming up behind them with Lucille going, you better clear that room, otherwise you for it. We haven't actually seen him get angry yet either. That's quite interesting when he gets angry. Reduce the threat, says Jack. So, as in The Walking Dead, we roll the 50-50 dice with the shields. If it's a shield, we reduce the threat by 1. And Jack, I'm really sorry, buddy. My dice rolls have deserted me tonight. So that's Jack done as well. So where we are, we That's everybody gone. We now go to the walker phase. We flip an event card. And the event card says Roamers. So we increase the threat by 1. We're now at threat level 10. Remember, if we get to threat level 19, it's game over anyway. Place 1 walker token on each entry point up to and including the current threat level. So we're now at medium level. That means we put a walker token on low threat level and on medium level. So, right, first 2 people in the chat, tell me number 1 to 6, please, and we'll decide which ones we're going to pick. So first 2 people in the chat, 1 to 6, because we need 2 tokens this time. 1 is going to go here, or it would normally go here, but it couldn't. The other one is going to come here, so it's going to sneak up behind them. Robert's just said 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The token goes here. The token can't come in if it's blocked. So Jason's saying 54 there. I think we need a bigger board for 54, buddy, unless that was just a bit of a bouncy finger. So the walker token comes in here. Where are we? And because it is in line of sight, we flip it over and it is, I'll put it onto the close cam, it's blank. So it was just a bit of noise. Nothing happened. We were lucky there. So we now read the rest of the card. Choose a survivor. Place 1 walker token on the nearest unsecured token to them, even if it's in an open room. So unsecured token. Right, what we need to do then is the only unsecured token near. We could choose this character here and put it over there, or we could be really cruel and put it here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this one, and this is the nearest unsecured token. So what I'll do is I'll go back. Flying Mammal said number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll use hers number there, and we'll put that there. Right, now what happens is we've done the event card. We now move the walker tokens. So this walker moves 1 space. This one still can't move because it's blocked. And now we now move all eligible walkers that are standing up. We move them 2 spaces. So this one moves 2 to here and engages with Laura. Is it Laura? Sorry, with Sherry. So now the walkers attack. This one's going to attack me. Here's where I roll the big dice, isn't it? So the walker rolls 1 red dice. 0. That's all right. I'm not even going to roll mine to defend it. That's fine. Excuse me. That's fine. We now move to Negan's turn. So Negan, we flip Negan's card over, and that is. Oh, you scared again. Move 2 spaces. So this is where it's going to get interesting. So let's go to this one. Negan is going to move 2 spaces here. 1, 2. Because remember, he's got to go to the nearest exit. He is now engaged with a zombie. Because he's now engaged with a zombie, it changes the card. So we move 2 spaces. He's now enraged. So we don't do anything else that it says on the card. We basically move to what happens when he's enraged. And what it says is, the survivor with the highest reputation loses blue roll dice number of reputation. So who's got the highest reputation? There are 3 of us on 1 reputation. So if it's a draw, I think we all lose it. So let's roll a blue dice. We're losing it anyway, aren't we? So everybody's back down to 0. Actually, no, I think we choose. So I'll choose myself on this one. Then what we do is survivors within 3 spaces lose 1 stamina. So any survivors within 3 spaces to Negan. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. So everybody except John loses 1 stamina. So Dwight loses 1. He's on 2 now. Laura loses 1. She's on 4. Sherry loses 1. And that basically simulates Negan getting Lucille and giving them a bit of a poke around the back of the head, going, "Get up! Look what I'm having to do. You're not clearing out these bloody walkers." So we've done that one. If adjacent to a walker, you remove blue walkers within 3. So he's going to roll more than 1 anyway, because 1's minimum. So we get rid of that walker. And then if he's in an unsecured room, he leaves via the shortest route. He's not in an unsecured room, so everything is fine. So we're now at the end phase. So what we do is we just take the tokens back to show that they're ready to go. We move the threat up by 1. And that's it. Oh no, sorry. We roll to see if this walker stands up. So on a black dice, 50-50, does she stand up? Of course she stands up. Of course it would be the worst thing that could happen. So we're now back. Player moves on to Sherry to go first. Let's have a quick look. Actually, what I'll do is I'll do my turn. Who's next? Dwight. Carson's, let me know what you want to do next, buddy. And we'll get ahead of the game a little bit. So, Sherry is going to try and... She's going to go 1, 2, 3. And then she's going to search here. So she's going to search the loot. And what does she find? She finds emergency supplies. Now, this is a special item. I can discard this card to give myself or an adjacent survivor +1 action token. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to discard it and I'm going to give Dwight an extra action token. So we discard that card. These are, I'll go back on the close cam. These are the extra action tokens, so that will either take 1 action off you, or if you flip it over, it gives you an extra action, and I'm going to give that to Dwight. So Carson's, you've got 3 actions now, buddy. You've got 3 actions. So he said, right, he's going to shoot the walker. It's going down. I am Negan. Ah! Okay, so he's going to shoot it. Dwight, crossbow. 2 red and a white. Sorry. Okay. Fingers crossed for you, buddy. Right, everybody. We need some extra luck. Blow on the dice, please. Everybody, put them in the microwave, cook them up. Let's see if we can get some headshots. 2. Okay. What's the walker going to do? The walker gets 1, so at least the walker is knocked down. So because you shot and because you've got 3 actions, you could actually go in and give it a stab now, to be fair. You can go in there, take it out. What would you like to do, buddy? Let's have a quick look in the chat and see what's happening. Let's see. Skullmunch is saying, oh sorry, Andrew is saying, seems a nice little game. I've got no idea who Negan is. What's the best place to start if you want to get into the game? So Andrew, and I think the people in the chat have been mentioning this is kind of set in the Walking Dead world by Mantic as well. So there's a few entry points. One is there is a solo set called something Woodbury, isn't it? I can't remember the name now. Mine's gone blank. It's called yeah, something about Woodbury. There's a solo set. There is a core set as well, which is basically like the starter set, if you like, with Rick and Carl and stuff in. Those are kind of your starting points, but that is more of a kind of a skirmish, a small 20 by 20 scale skirmish game. All this is basically a board game. It's standalone. Everything you need is included in it. That's the other alternative as well. So this is brand new, not quite out yet. I think it's due to start shipping at the end of November. So this is a brand new game where the Walking Dead miniatures game is already available. So let's go back and see what we're seeing. What's he going to do? Move in, stabby, stabby. Cool. So what you can do is we move in, and I'm going to put you over here so you can search next turn, and then you just have to stab. When they're down, it's like a curb stomp. Automatically kills them, and Dwight gets a point of reputation. Don't forget, you are now on 2 as well, so you can try and heal as well. You've got a thing where you can try and heal yourself up. You might want to consider doing that next turn. So we've got player moves now to John. So Jack, what would you like to do, buddy? Prelude to Woodbury. Everybody's telling me, yeah, just remember that one. Everybody's telling me that. Prelude to Woodbury it is. Thank you very much. Artisan, I like the mechanics, not sure about the theme though. I prefer Zombicide Black Plague. It depends. If you're into The Walking Dead, it is really, really thematic and it sticks really kind of quite closely to the theme of the comic books. If Zombicide's more your thing, then I guess I've never played Zombicide, so I can't really compare them, to be fair. Paul saying All Out War can be played solo, player versus player, or co-op, so very versatile. That's why I think I've made many videos about it. I think it's the ultimate kind of gateway game into miniatures. I definitely think so. What I like about this game is that everybody is trying to achieve the same thing. We're all trying to clear it out. We're all trying to get Negan out. But because we're all competing to be top dog, to be his favourite, there's a little bit of backstabbing goes on. Shaggy says, move in, search the loot. So, Laura, search the loot. 1, 2, 3. We flip over the loot counter and let's see what you get on the close cam. So you get a supply cache, and this says it's an incident. So it says gain blue dice reputation. So let's do that. At least you know you're going to get one, buddy, anyway. One, sorry. So Laura, it is Laura, isn't it? Yeah. Laura gets one piece of reputation. That takes you up to 2. And then the card now says each survivor in the room restores red stamina. And then discard this card and draw another card. So this could be helping you out, Carsons. We need a big number here. We need a 2. I can't believe it. You don't get anything back. You don't get anything back. So what we do though is we discard this card and we get another one. And this one is, oh, could it go any better for you? It's another incident. Is lose red stamina and add 1 to the threat. So we'll put the threat up to 12. Here's where the 2 comes, isn't it? Here's where the 2 comes. None. You didn't lose any stamina. The lurker grabbed at you and you managed to kind of bat it away and knock it out of the way. So good stuff. So that's Laura. That is, everybody's gone now. So we now move back to the event phase. So let's flip an event card. And this one says, what was that? Choose a survivor. In the chat, first person to name a survivor, we'll go with that one. Choose a survivor. The closest walker token to that survivor immediately moves 2 spaces. As it happens, they can't move 2 spaces because they're blocked with locked doors at the minute. So we don't do anything more on the card. So it actually wasn't too bad, that one. We move walkers. There isn't any walkers. We move the walker tokens. Oops, let's get it. There's 2 walker tokens, but they're blocked by doors. So there's nothing else to do here. We then move on to Negan. Negan is here. He's not enraged, so we flip over his card to see what happens here. And let Lucille protect you. Move 2 spaces, so we'll do that first. So he's going to go 1, 2. And then it says reduce the threat level by red dice. So let's hope for a 2 here. Bloody zeros! Blank side. Look, I'm going to roll another dice just to prove that they're not all zeros. So we don't reduce the threat level anymore. And then it says Negan removes blue walkers within 3 spaces from play. There aren't any, so there's nothing to worry about there. So we then move on to the next turn and Dwight to go first. So Carsons, what would you like to do with Dwight, mate? Let's have a look in here. Oh, have I moved the wrong ones again? Right, Jack says you're playing wrong one. Let me go back. Mark says not Laura. He's playing John. Have we missed Laura out there? Has Laura not gone this turn? Right, sorry. Let's move it back. He's going to search here. That one was over there, wasn't it? Right, he's going to search here. That was everything that went on. Laura needs to go. Sorry, buddy, I missed Laura out, didn't I? Right. Search token and secure the room. Tell you what we'll do. We'll search this one for you as well, buddy, right? Just to keep it moving. Sorry if I'm trying to do 10 things at once. You got some bandages, buddy. Okay? So we'll give Laura some bandages. Carson's wants to search the token and secure the room. So Dwight, he's going to search that token. He is going to get... he's getting a gun. Now the way this works now is because you have 2 items equipped, you can either choose now to equip them so you can replace your crossbow, which I potentially suggest that you do to try and help you out a little bit. So I'll put that in there. If you don't want me to replace it, I'll move it off when you let me know in the chat. We're going to try and secure the room now. So there's 2 of you in there. The threat level's at 3, so we need to roll. We need to roll 2 white dice, and we're hoping for 3 or more. 2. Sorry, we didn't secure the room. Right, next up, John. Sorry about getting that mixed up, guys. So John's next. Jack, what would you like to do, buddy? We'll see what you want to do. Yeah, it's quite a lot to get my head around. What we'll do is we'll play for another 5 minutes. We'll play at the end of this round, and then we'll call it there, because at least you've seen how the game plays. You've seen Negan getting a bit angry and poking people around the head. You've seen how the zombies come in, the walkers come in when they create noise. You've seen how they come in from the event cards. You've seen how you search. You've seen all the different actions you can do. The only thing we haven't done, and I'll run when it gets to my turn to show you how run works. Carson's the same replace with the gun. Cool. Oh, we've got Josie in as well from Green Stuff Games. Hey Josie, how are you doing? We've still got 42 people watching, which I'm really surprised at. I thought I might have bored the life out of some of you by now, but it seems to be okay. Oh, Jack says open the door. Oh, scary moment. So, right, Jack is playing as John. He's going to open the door. Oh, let me get the right screen on. Let's go that one. He's going to open the door. This walker is now in line of sight, and under the close cam, it's a red dice. So we'll roll a red dice to see how many walkers come in. None. It's the best. It's the only time I would have wanted to roll a 0. So again, there was just some noise. It might have been rats. It might have been further down the hall, but there was no walkers there when we needed it. So you've opened the door. You want to walk through it now? You want to walk through. You've got 3, 1, 2, 3. You don't have to go into these rooms because we don't need to lock them. We're basically trying to get Negan out this way, so you could just run past if you want to. Yeah. So actually, what we'll do is, do you want to run, Jack? And I'll show you how you run. So what we do is, you roll a blue dice. Yeah, we roll a blue dice. And it basically, I also forgot, John's got a special ability as well. So you know before I was telling you about bulky stuff, ignore that. Move onwards. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you so you can see how we do a run. So, you roll a blue dice and you add this to your movement. So, you move extra 2 squares. So, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it creates noise. Noise increases the threat by 1, and also makes any walker tokens move. However, there are no walker tokens that can get out. One's behind a locked door at the minute, so everything's okay. So that's how you run. You roll the blue dice and you add that to your movement. Dwight has an ability that basically, if oh, no, you don't create noise. You roll a black dice to see if it creates noise. Sorry, I got it wrong. Because Dwight has an ability that lets him re-roll the black dice. If it's a shield, it creates noise. It doesn't create noise, so I've taken the threat back down. So, we've got Laura to go next. Mark, what would you like to do, buddy? Sorry, it feels like I've you're going to run twice. Good choice. So, Make sure this is Laura, isn't it? Make sure I get the right one. Well, here we are. This one's Laura. You're going to run twice. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Cool. So that's Laura done, and then we've got Sherry to go. Sherry is going to, yeah, she's going to run. So we'll roll a blue dice. She's going to run. Oh, she gets 3 there, so she gets to run 6 squares, which is, let's go back to this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then for her second action, I'm going to try and heal, so I can show you how healing works as well. So to heal, we roll a red dice, and you heal this many points. None. So we didn't get to the end. Let's play out this turn. Sorry, that's what we're going to do. So that's everybody gone. Then we flip another event card. This one is... So it's Roma's. We increase the threat by 1, so we're up to 13 now. We place 1 walker token on every entry point up to the current threat level. So we're at the top of medium threat now. So we put a walker token on here, which doesn't have line of sight. And we put one on here, which also doesn't have line of sight because you're at the other side of the door there. And then it says, choose a survivor, place 1 walker token on the nearest unsecured token to them, even in an open room. So what we'll do is, we'll pop a token in this room. Okay. Then all the walker tokens move 1 space. So this one would move 1, and I think it becomes revealed. That one is a blank, so nothing happens. This one goes forward and is revealed, and it's blue. So we roll a blue dice. It's 2, so there's 2 walkers come on. 1 there and 1 there. And the walkers attack. So this walker now is going to attack Negan. So Negan doesn't defend, he just automatically takes a point of damage. But he will be enraged now because of it. And that's that basically. We then move on to the Negan phase. So Negan now, we'll put his card under there. What? Negan's card. Oh, sorry, we don't flip Negan's card because he's enraged. Apologies for that. So the survivor with the highest rep loses blue amount of reputation. That was 2 points, and the highest one is Laura, so she goes down to 0. And then survivors within 3 get a clip round the lug from him, so that is 1. So that means Laura takes a point of damage. Laura's really getting it here. And then basically any adjacent walkers, we roll for the blue dice and take that many out within 3. Take 2 out. So those 2, whoop, let me show you on camera. Those 2 come out. And then he basically, if he's in an unsecured room, he leaves by the shortest route. But he's not in an unsecured room because we secured it before. So, what time we're at? We're at 20 past 10 now, guys. So, we've played for about an hour there. We're not too far away for it. Obviously, it was a lot slower playing on here. It would be a lot quicker if we were all sitting in the same room playing together. Let's have 10 minutes at the end, just having a chat about it. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you think about doing this live. Does it work? Is it interesting to watch? It's hard for me to gauge how the chat's going, how the game's going, all that kind of stuff. It's quite difficult. So let me know if it was interesting to watch. Is it something that you would like to see again? Maybe not necessarily interactive, but would you like to see more sort of like live playthroughs? We've just seen a question there about the dice. The dice, the red ones have 2 blank sides, I think. Yeah, 2 blank sides, 3 sides of 1, and a 2 side with a headshot. So they're the worst dice. The white ones have one blank side, three with one on, one with two, and one with two in a headshot. And the blue dice have two sides with one pip. They have three sides with two pips, and then one side with three and a headshot. So it is a 1 in 6 chance of getting a headshot on a dice. Obviously, the more dice you roll in, the better chance you've got. Skullmunch is saying, is there any chance of getting towards 20 reputation? There is, and I'll tell you what, I think it would work better if we were sitting together, because basically working together is how you do this. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to use your abilities to help each other. Once you get to grips with that, that's the bit where you start screwing each other over. I think this was just really getting to grips with the mechanics. I was awful in my first playthroughs. What happened to me was, and I was playing with Clive from Mantic, I was so bad, Negan whacked me around the back of the head with the bat. He killed me, but I'd been bitten, so I turned into a walker, and then because I was a walker next to him, he whacked me around the back of the head again and killed me. So he killed me twice in one turn. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. The red dice are broken. They definitely are, mate. Skullmunch says you did a great job, buddy. Very entertaining. Thanks, mate. It's the first time I've done it. I wasn't sure how entertaining it would be, but I have really enjoyed it, actually. Carson says, I suggest we do it again, but with Necromunda. Bloody hell, mate. I couldn't do Necromunda like this. Tim is saying, well done, Andy. That's hard to do live. Yeah, harder than I thought, but more fun as well. Robert is saying, yeah, more live playthroughs. Mark said, it's great to play. Maybe Discord or separate chat room for players, but really enjoyed that. I did think about that, but it was probably a bit late in the day when I considered on how to do it. But yeah, next time maybe a bit of a quicker response, I think, on how we do it. I think it's just because when I'm telling you, there's then like a 20-second delay before you see it. Then you've got to make your choice. Then you type it in, then I read it. So it's kind of, we can almost have like a minute just between kind of sort of deciding what to do. Skullmunch is saying, why are you using Vanguard power dice? I should have used Vanguard dice. They might have worked better. Rob's saying, really like it looks really interesting with different options for players. Bin the red dice though. Yeah. So what I will say is, depending upon how many characters you use, the game becomes harder or easier as well. So in the books, let me see if I can show you some of the missions. So for example, let me see if I can get this under the camera. I'll move some of these minis out of the way. Let's have a look under the close cam. So I'll spin it around that way so you can see it. So what you can see here in the missions there, you'll see some of these tokens are different colours. So there's orange ones here with an orange ring around them. There's some with a red border around them as well. So depending upon how many characters you're using, if you're using 5 characters, you put every token down. If you're using 4 characters, you don't put any of the red tokens down. If you're using 3 characters, you don't put any of the orange tokens down. So it just makes the game that little bit easier or harder to kind of to win the mission, because obviously the more characters you're playing with, the easier it should be. So the game kind of ramps up the difficulty a little bit to try and make it balanced. So if you're just playing on your own and you're only playing with 2 characters, it should be just as balanced as if you're playing on your own with 5 characters or if you're playing with 5 people. And of course, because it's cooperative, you can play the game solo too. So I think it's, for me personally, I'm going to do a review on it this week, so I won't say too much about it. There's a couple of bits that I think are maybe they don't sort of do anything about the game. There's a couple of things I think could have been a little bit better, but they don't change the way the game plays. But I'll do that in a full review, and I'll kind of go into a bit more depth about that. But it will be a proper, full, balanced review this time, not a sort of 5 reasons to play and all the positive stuff. It'll be a balanced review. But what I would say is, personally, I think it's a really fun game. The mechanics are pretty simple. Once you get your head around them, you just have to take your time, read through the cards. But once you've done it a few times, it does become much more sort of fluid. If you've played Walking Dead before, the mechanics are very similar, so it'll feel really familiar. It's been designed by Mark Latham, the same guy who designed The Walking Dead All Out War as well, so not surprisingly. Let's see what else is happening in the chat here. Where are we going? Flying Mammal saying, oh, sorry, Rob saying, really like it. Looks interesting with different options. We did that one, yeah. Flying Mammals is very interesting. Just enjoy the game without giving everything away. How was it for you? Stressful. I really enjoyed it, but trying to remember the rules, trying to remember the what I've done, where I'm up to, trying to keep the chat going, waiting for the answers. It was quite hard, but I think we got there in the end. I think we got there. Jack saying, thanks for that. Good work, mate. I know it's not easy keeping track. Yeah, I think I lost track a couple of times, but we got there. Tony says, definitely works well, mate. The setup seems to cover pretty much everything when you remember to switch cams. Nice one. Time has flown by. It definitely has. It really has flown by. Matt says, yeah, it was great to listen to. Cheers, buddy. Carson's saying, really enjoyed playing. Think it went well. Not a lot of dead time between turns with the delay. Thanks for including me. Thank you for joining in, buddy. It makes it much easier when people want to play. Peter says, really enjoyed it. Didn't even shoot the python. Andrew Pierce says, great idea to play a game live. Yeah, it could have been a disaster. I don't think it was. I think it went pretty well. I enjoyed it. Josie saying, play a hero quest like this. Yeah, that might take a bit more work as well. I was hoping the starter mission wouldn't take too long, but I think I was maybe being a bit ambitious, I think. Mark... Jack says they could do Space Hulk next. Could do, mate. Yeah, just saw Peter saying not a euphemism. Mark says perfect for Dungeon Saga. Winky, winky. Yeah, I'm sure it is, mate. Jason saying you did really well, mate. Thanks, buddy. Says enjoy watching whilst painting. If you plan to do it again, give me a shout and I'll pop to help with the player moves. Yeah, I think if I've got an extra pair of eyes, keeping an eye on there, making sure I'm moving the right characters. I was going to kind of, I mentioned, I think I was starting to say before, I was going to just prime these up and just paint the rim of the bases a certain colour, but I wanted to kind of keep them like this for the review so you can see exactly how they are in the review of the game. We've got Bazza just snuck in at the end there as well. How Bazza? Skullman saying how many missions in the book? I think there's about 10, I think. I could be wrong. Let's have a quick look. There's 12, mate. There's 12 missions, and the way it works, you can play the missions individually. There's also rules for a survival mode as well, where you can play through each mission one after the other, like a campaign. And there's a post-game sequence where you take what the game result is, you take into account injuries, you get bonuses for being top dog. If you win or you lose, there's things that happen, so you get like security tokens and things like that. So yeah, it's quite fun actually. It works into like a little campaign as well. Neil is saying, let me go back. That was the missions. Carson's is saying, looking forward to getting the AOA character cards for these saviors. Yeah, you can use the saviors in All Out War as well if you get the character cards. If you pre-order it, you get the character cards. I think Ronnie said in the blog today that they're going to go up as a Mantic points at some point in the future. Neil says, why have they chosen a board with squares rather than measuring as the core set? Because this is a board game, mate. It's not meant to be like All Out War. This is a standalone board game aimed at board game players. It's set in the same world and uses a lot of the same mechanics. All Out War is the kind of the miniatures skirmish game. So that's why it's a board with boards, if you like. Where are we up to? Bazza says just done a live video, but then realised you're doing one. No worries, man. Paul says, thank you, Andy. Not the easiest to do with players, not all in the same room, but went well. Great setup. Thank you very much, man. Andrew Pace is saying, great live video, boss man. Thanks for doing this. You're welcome. I thought this was a bit more interesting to kind of show you how the game plays rather than trying to make a video on how the game plays. Mantic will be doing some how to play videos, which will be much more sort of in-depth and a bit more professional than this. But I'll do a review so that I can kind of tell you what you get in the box, tell you what my thoughts, my pros and cons. But I thought this was a fun way to kind of get the game in front of you. Matt says, I want to adjust the rules slightly and play this with the Atlanta camp group clearing the prison. I'm pretty sure you probably could do, mate, to be fair. I mean, to be honest, the tiles look very much like the inside of a prison as well, so I'm sure you could use that really well. saying being trying to watch both with one monitor. Mark says, yeah, prison. And Paul Roberts says, hope to see you at Mantic Franticon. Yeah, I had a chat with Ben at the weekend about it. The date at the minute, there's something else in my diary, but if that doesn't happen, then I will definitely, I'll come and pop down. So, we are bang on 50:30. Josie's just saying there's got 2 new subscribers. Are there any of you peeps? Might be, it might well be. If not, head across and check out Josie's channel. Neil says, get drunk for the next one. Tell you what, if I didn't have to get up for work in the morning, I think I'd be getting drunk now. So, it looks like the streams ran okay. It hasn't dropped out. All the cameras and everything else working seems to have gone okay. All I'll say is thank you to every single one of you for coming in tonight and watching. Thanks to everyone that joined in. Jack, Mark, and I keep calling you Carsons because I can't remember your name, mate, from the Facebook group. I'm really sorry, buddy. Thank you very much for joining in. It made it much easier for me to have somebody playing with me as well. Peter saying, just received his Vanguard rulebook. Much reading to do. Bit of bedtime reading for you there, buddy. So, thank you, every single one of you, for coming in tonight. Thanks for all of your chat. Thanks for your feedback as well. Let me know down in the comments on this video. So when this video goes live tomorrow, drop some comments down in the comments section. Because the live videos don't tend to get a lot of comments because most people have watched them here. Go down, give it a thumbs up. That really helps to share it out. Put some comments down there. Let me know if you thought it was a good idea. Let me know if you could think of any improvements for the future. Chris. That's right, mate. Sorry about that. Got a terrible name for terrible memory for names. So yeah, thank you everybody for being here again tonight, as I said, and I will see you all in the next video.